You know, the best part about the keto diet is that you can eat as much fat as you want without having to worry about the value of those calories. Like this butter, for instance.
Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Joseph Williams at jawsfit. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get going. Sorry about the quality of the video. Something's wrong with my camera, so I'm recording from my laptop today. But as you can obviously tell, we're going to be talking about the ketogenic diet. And as a disclaimer, I'm not hating on it. I have tons of friends that do keto. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the science and what exactly happens in your body when you are on keto long term. The body, particularly the brain, runs on glucose, which is obviously a sugar, and sugar is obviously a carbohydrate. Basically, what I'm saying is the body's main source of energy is from carbs. I guess the next question to ask is, where exactly does the keto diet fit in? And by definition, the keto diet is a diet that tends to promote the metabolic formation of ketone bodies by causing the body to use fat rather than carb as its principal energy source. Now, we've all seen the people on the internet who support the keto diet.
They can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
And we've even seen people that take the ketone pills to try to help themselves get into ketogenesis sooner. Bro, you don't want to wait for your body to start making ketones. You just want to ingest them. Get the process started. So let's just go ahead and dive into the literature and see what the science says about short-term ketogenic diets. One from 2004 shows two groups, one with low carb, high fat, and the other with low fat, calorie reduced diet. And within the first 6 months, the low carb group had more weight loss, but after 12 months, there was actually no difference between the two groups. Another from 2005 compared the following diets of Weight Watchers, Zone, Cornish, and Atkins, and how each one of these diets affected weight loss and heart disease risk factors. So the cool thing about that study in particular was that every single one of those diets, as long as the person stuck with the diet, they resulted in weight loss. And they also improved LDL and HDL, which is also known as the good and bad cholesterol levels. And the study also stated that there was no significant difference between the studies and their effect on weight loss, cholesterol levels, and insulin levels. Unfortunately, in that study, they claimed there was a huge dropout rate. A lot of their patients claimed that they had difficulties following the diet. So therefore, they recommended longer duration studies with better adherence. So when we get into a little more recent studies, such as in 2018, one study suggested that low-carb, high-fat diets lead to greater weight loss, but they also recommend that it also depends on the quality of the carbohydrate. And they stated the appropriate whole grain and high fiber carbs is compatible with a good state of health, which would make sense. If you're not consuming fiber to an extent, then you're going to have a hard time going to the bathroom, more or less. Here's another diet that suggests that ketogenic diets can help with epilepsy, which is amazing for those of you who may or may not have epilepsy. And then lastly, this one from 2018 states that it doesn't matter the diet type, as long as you reduce calories, you'll lose weight. Keto diets, they also suggest that keto diets are harder to stick to, and there was no data to support long-term effects of keto diets, and that if you are at a risk for type 2 diabetes, you can actually maintain a high carb diet, and it's generally seen as safe. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are freaking the F out right now thinking, how can a high carb diet be good for type 2 diabetics? And in the future, I'll go ahead and put a link up here explaining exactly why a high fat diet might not be so good for type 2 diabetes. Back to keto, what exactly happens to your body when you go keto? As mentioned before, when you eat carbs, your body turns it to glucose for fuel. And that glucose goes to the liver. And if there's no glucose present, then your liver goes through what's called gluconeogenesis, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard. It's basically the formation of new sugars, and it does that through fat. That doesn't sound too terrible. But the only problem is that this is technically your body's backup source of energy, and it's only meant when you desperately need it to. Meaning, you know, if this is your house and you've got energy coming all the time, you don't have any worries. But if you use a backup generator 24/7 to make that house work for energy, then it might go bad after a while, i.e. your liver could go bad after a while.
Your blood work shows that your liver isn't functioning properly.
Now, if that in itself isn't alarming, when your body goes through gluconeogenesis, you have an excess of this little chemical makeup of something called acetyl-CoA. And what acetyl-CoA will do in the gluconeogenesis process is convert to acetoacetate, which is great because if all goes well, the acetoacetate goes through another process and can help take this newly formed glucose straight to your brain so you can think and function properly. The only problem is, if you have a lot of acetoacetate, it's technically unstable and it can undergo what's called spontaneous decarboxylation. And what that means is taking this little carbon group away from the overall molecule is creating a new chemical called acetone. Yeah, I'm sure you've all probably heard of acetone, and I am literally saying it is possible, I'm not saying it's going to, it is possible that you could end up with acetone floating around in your bloodstream.
Violence or
meaning.
Now, that's obviously a ridiculously drastic portion of the ketogenic diet, and I'm not saying that it's going to happen to you. I'm just saying that is at the biochemical level, that's something that's possible. All right, let's do a quick little recap so we don't forget anything. Can the keto diet help you lose weight? Absolutely, but you still have to be in a caloric deficit. You can't just eat fats unrestricted. You still have to find out what your maintenance level calories should be and then go below that to be in your deficit. There is science to support that short-term use of keto diets may be okay, but there isn't enough evidence to say that long-term keto diets are actually good for you. Keto diets actually make the liver do things it would only do in times of emergencies. And if you stay keto for a long time, it could possibly be potentially dangerous at the biochemical level, in theory. I'm not going to tell you not to do keto, but I'm not telling you to go out and do keto blindly. Always consult with your doctor. Always find out about your own personal health and what actually is going to work best for you. I'm not saying there's an end-all be-all diet for everyone, because we are made up mostly the same, but there are tiny little differences that make us who we are, and it mostly has to do with our epigenetics and a little bit with our genetics. I personally think we should all give each diet a try just to find out what works best for you and what you seem to like best. I did keto back in 2015 for a period of 3 months or so, and it was okay and I thought it was great, and then I moved on with my life and found other things that worked better for me. So leave a comment down below of what your favorite style of diet is. Subscribe to the channel, like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.